Hey everybody, Ray Hayden here, and this video is going to be about audio for video when you're using a smartphone to capture your video. The phone that's capturing this video is this one right here. Give you the disclaimer up front. Nobody's paying me any money for advertising anything or anything like that. And I don't know if you'd want to run out and go ahead and buy this thing anyway. It's probably one of the most inexpensive phones we can get in the system, but I wanted something that could shoot video. All right, this is the Revel 5G, not the 5G Plus, which is a different phone. I didn't like the specifications on that phone as opposed to the Revel 5G without the Plus, because I thought this one here could shoot better video, and it kind of does. Anyway, so that's what the phone looks like here when it's in a little protective case. All right, so that's going to be one of the microphones we listen to. All right, so the age-old question is, what is the best camera for shooting video? The question is always answered with whatever camera you have with you at the time. If all you have is a camera with the built-in microphone, that is the best system you have. Shoot your video that you can to the best way you can. Make it look as good as you can. Hopefully it'll sound as good as it can. And if you have to go to the computer after the video and edit the sound and tweak that to sound better, that's okay. That's perfectly fine. That's why you're a professional, right? So let's look at the next microphone we're gonna look at. I have a ZTE Axon 7 phone, and I used to shoot all my videos on this. Every now and then, though, it would glitch, and because we had to get a 5G phone anyway, I kind of migrated the video to this. But the audio is still great on that. The video is still good too, but you know, with a newer phone with a bigger screen, I'm going to go that route. So here we have, and they always get tied in knots, right? This is the quote-unquote hands-free telephone device, right? So we had to, you know, drive around in the car. You can't have a phone up to your head. People are getting in accidents and all kinds of things. Do drive safe. You know, shut your phone off when you're in your car if you have to, or whatever you need to do, but to be safe. But this thing here has a wire on it. Has a TRRS connector. That's the one with the three partitions between the connections, and it has a headset to it, right? So the headset really serves the purpose of holding the thing up. There is a left and a right, and the left side has a microphone on it. So we put this in our ears and plug the cord into the cell phone, and then we have a microphone much closer to us than the standalone one. So this is the next microphone we're gonna look at. After that, we're gonna look at the, this is a short shotgun microphone I bought specifically for use with my GoPro. I have a GoPro Hero 8, and aren't they all heroes? Anyways, so I buy this, and this just, this is on a lifter. I'll show you one of these all by itself in a second. And what it is I put it right on the GoPro, and it lifts the microphone up a little bit higher. Now the reason why I need that, if I'm using a microphone like this, I don't need it, but I have a wind muff, and I find that more often than not, the wind muff is something that helps the sound better, indoors, outdoors, whatever. It just gives a little bit more of a rich feeling to it, like if you have more padding or whatever around your recording studio or whatever, if you have one set up. So this sits on there, and that lifts the microphone up so that the wind muff is not in the image. Because if I didn't have that lifter on there, then a cold shoe attachment, if I didn't have that on there, then I wouldn't be able to get, you know, get the video without having a wind muff in the image, right? It'd be just like that sitting over the top, you know, at the top of the image or whatever. So it's crazy. On this camera, it doesn't matter so much because the camera is actually as far away as you can be on here. Like I'll put this thing on top. You hear a little sound here, I don't know. There we go. So the wind muff's on there. You can't see it on the camera because the lens of the camera is far away from it. All right, so I'm going to use this camera, and I'm going to put it on the camera, and I'm going to use it like a handheld camera so you can hear the audio, same exact microphone, same situation, except for instead of sitting on top of the camera, I'm going to hold it in my hand like it's a handheld mic. All right. Speaking of handheld mics, that's the next thing we're going to use. The third microphone is going to be a handheld mic, and it's an XLR connection. As you can tell, this microphone I have on my lapel, on my collar right now, is an XLR, and there's no way you're going to just plug that right into your phone. We'll talk about that when I get there. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this video, disconnect this microphone from the camera, and then you'll hear the first microphone is the one that's built right into the camera, into the cell phone. Okay, so this is the microphone that's built. It's you know, this is not this microphone. Yeah, you do that all day long. You're never going to hear that tapping on a microphone. Now I'm looking at the VU meter. I have a little meter. Maybe I can actually show you using this phone here as a kind of a mirror. You might be able to see that little white line bouncing around a little bit back and forth in the image. That is like a VU meter. Now, a VU meter is volume units. It's usually something that you see on a microphone mixer. You might see it on a little ticking thing like this, or you might see a series of lights or whatever. It kind of work in the same way. And it gives you basically a visual indication as to the level of audio you're trying to get. All right. So now that's enough of a tester there, or a teaser, to see this is the built-in microphone on the camera. There's no other enhancements. There's nothing going on. When you're shooting a video like this right now, the only thing you're using is the cell phone and the cell phone's built-in microphone that you have with it. That's it. So this is the minimal package you can go out there with. Now I'm going to pause the video. And I'll explain why when I come back. But I'm going to pause the video and we're going to hook up the microphone that came with my ZTE Axon 7. So we're going to hook this up now, okay? Okay, so this is a microphone here. All right, sorry about that. That's the microphone right there. It's right next to my mouth. It's very close. It's kind of like having it's the next best thing to having a handheld microphone. But it's wired up and it's hardwired right directly to the cell phone. Here's the wire coming at you right there. Now I can use these extension wires. All right, the same thing like I was using with the lavalier microphone that I got on my collar here that we'll come back to at the end. But this microphone should sound superior to just having no microphone at all, right? So if you're gonna have to have some microphone and you want to kind of get a better level of sound, a microphone is better than no microphone whatsoever in almost every case, all right? So if you can have a standalone separate microphone that you use to get the audio into your phone, make use of it to the best you can. And however it is that works best for you, that is the best way to do it, to get that audio into your video signal when you're recording on your smartphone. Now I'm going to pause that and I'm going to come back to the wind muff on the short shotgun microphone. Now again, keep in mind I bought this specifically for the GoPro, and on the GoPro on testing video, it works great. It works outside great, it works inside great, it's fantastic, and I can shoot video all day long on the GoPro and never have to use anything but this particular microphone, and using it as intended and as hoped for, it works great just doing it just like that. All right, I just have the thing just like that, mounted to a tripod, of course, and then getting the job done. All right, so we're going to come back here. I'm going to pause that, and we're going to come right back to this microphone. All right, so here we go. This microphone is that short shotgun microphone. It's not this microphone here. It's not that microphone there. It's no other microphone. It's a short shotgun microphone. I'll demonstrate that. It is sitting as it was on top of the GoPro a few minutes ago. Just like it's sitting on the top of the GoPro, assuming this is like my camera here, right? And this is, right, like that. And the camera lens is down here, by the way. So the mount is up here because the buttons are up top here. So I put the mount on the top, and that fuzzy thing is just sitting right up here. And it's sitting on camera. And it's about an arm's distance. The microphone itself is about an arm's distance, and a little bit more of a stretch over to the camera lens on the microphone. This is the sound you get with the short shotgun microphone connected to the cell phone using a special wire. Now I want to explain that real quick. It's a short wire. It doesn't get in the way. It's excellent. And you might worry, well, how can I use that? It's so short, right? Well, you can use extensions with it, okay? This is specifically a TRRS connector. You see that it's got the 3 black line connections there, all right? Brakes, those little plastic brakes there. A TRS has 2, like this, all right? I can get that in focus, that'd be great. Anyway, so it's got the 2 divisions. This has 3, right? So that is the difference between the two. The microphone, the short shotgun microphone, is a TRS microphone, all right? So that's its standard way of operating. With that microphone, and I bought it specifically for the GoPro. I didn't buy this for the cell phone. I bought it for the GoPro. And it uses the TRS to TRS connection to get this thing to the GoPro, right? But now I'm going to take it off of the microphone. I'm going to show you how you can use it using those extension wires, all right? So hang on for that. I have to pause the video for this. All right, we're back, but now, instead of having a microphone a hand away from me, a whole arm away from me, I got a microphone right next to me. Okay, so I can use this as a handheld microphone, right? So rather than having to buy XLR editions and stuff like that, if you're gonna use a handheld microphone anyway, you're doing interviews or something like that, you got a microphone with a fuzzy windsock on it, right? It's not much different than this here, right? You can straighten out the thing because this tilts in all different directions and stuff like that. You can tilt it 90 degrees, whatever you need to have your, to use your devices and everything else. but handheld this thing like that's great. It doesn't have, it's mounted to a something to kind of take bumps and squeaks and beeps out of the microphone while you're hearing. I don't think we're gonna have any problems with it. But I'm looking at the VU meter at the bottom of the screen. This is meant to pick up sound that's a distance away. All right. Now it's always best to have the microphone as close as you can to you, but sometimes it's gonna have to be 2 feet away. All right. Now with the GoPro, this microphone can be further away. For some reason, it has better power performance with the GoPro than it does with my cell phone. And also, I have the connection right here to go far. I got like a 20-foot worth of wire connection to this device, to this microphone. So I can go pretty far away and kind of use this as a handheld microphone. And I could even lay it on its side or whatever, or I can place this on some kind of short, if I can find one of my short tripods around here somewhere. I can't, oh, here's one right here. So I have these little short tripods. I can screw this to the bottom of my microphone and have it as a desk microphone closer to me than if it was on the camera itself. But again, if I'm using a GoPro camera in testing, it works perfectly fine here with no adjustments needed. Just slide it onto the top of the GoPro. You're gonna hear some noise here probably. All right, just put it on top of the GoPro and it sounds just as good as if it's, a handheld microphone or anything else. Again, the best microphone is going to be this lavalier microphone. We'll come back to that in a minute. The next microphone on our show, the third one, is going to be the handheld microphone. It's a Shure microphone. It is an XLR microphone, and it's just a fantastic microphone. Still not, it's better, it's like you kind of going up the chain here. The best, if you have nothing else, the built-in speaker, the microphone on your camcorder is going to be you got to get audio. If you have to get audio, that's a way to get it. The next is if you have one of these telephone wireless or hand-free phone call things, it's wireless. It's a wire. But if you have this or something like it that gets audio into your camera, make use of that. That's the next best thing. If you have the capability to have a microphone like this, go ahead and use it. And you use it handheld, or hang on a second, you hear some noise here for this one. Sorry. Or you can put it on top of the camera. Now I'm a little bit further away, you hear the difference and everything else, but there you have it, right? So you can get the idea what the difference is. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up, matter of fact, I can actually hook this up right now, I believe. Because my lavalier mic is not hooked up, so it's not going to have any effect on the video. So I just plug this in here, and I got to make the connection here, okay? And so I do have to pause for that, all right? So I'll be right back. Okay, so just to test this out, it is not that, it's this. All right, so this is a handheld microphone. The handheld microphone works great. The reason why I got this particular one, it's got like a little bit of a longer handle to it, and I got this one here so your hand can be further away from the microphone. Also, if you're doing something where you see that you channel 5, channel 7, channel whatever, news, ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, whatever, that's called a flag. So if you see the microphone flag there that kind of identifies who you're working for that day or whatever, then this would also allow space to have a flag, or if you want to have a custom one with your own company name on it, you go ahead and put it on there. My company logo is really kind of cool. The name of my company is Video One. It's spelled V as in Victor, D as in Delta, O as in Oscar, and then the number 1. And the reason I did that is it was Video One Productions Incorporated, and then now it's a sole proprietorship, and it's just Video One. It's really cool. I like the logo that I have for it is actually a movie camera with the name of my company on that movie camera. And it's like an old film camera, but we shoot digital video, so it's great. Anyways, so this is the handheld microphone, all right? So you got the camera microphone, you got the telephone hands-free device microphone, you had the, pull it right off here, you had the fuzzy windsock short shotgun microphone, which does sound better on the GoPro than the cell phone. And you also saw it, like if I put the extension wires on there, if I'm using it as a handheld microphone, like this one here, right? And then lastly, we're going to go back to the lavalier microphone that I have right here. Okay, so hang on for that. Finish it off with the best sound. Okay, so this should be the best sound of all the microphones. It's a lavalier microphone, hands-free. I don't have to do anything. And by the way, the connections between these different things, these different microphones, these different systems of operation and everything, it's mindlessly simple. The back of the microphone has a little input for it, okay? The connection is one of these connections, all right? So it's either this connection right to the back of a microphone, right, directly into the cell phone, right, the TRS connection to the cell phone. It's either that or it's a connection into an extension cable that we have hooked up, right? So that's the other connection would be. And if I'm using one of these ones that requires power and this camera down here, which I have set up, right? There's nothing on the screen right here because I have the lens cap on, but I can see down here a little VU meter. So that gives me an indication of what my camera is hearing, and it also tells me a little bit of an indication of what information I'm sending out, the quality of the sound that I'm sending out to the cell phone, right? So, and then I have a VU meter on that. It's also giving me additional reassurance of the potential for quality audio coming into my video, all right? So all that's really important to me. I was raised on audio, not video, okay? Audio is just massively, massively important for professional video work, right? The video is very important too, but you can have the best video in the world. If you don't have any audio, you can make it up. You know, you can do some Foley artist thing, you can do some looping or whatever, but if you have some kind of a soundtrack, it's better than no soundtrack, right? But having that quality soundtrack the first time in, if you can go in and make something with the best possible audio that you can the first time out, you save yourself a whole lot of time and energy in post-production, all right? Again, even with this microphone here, or any of the other ones, if the quality of the sound being caught, if it's too low, I can always boost it up right here. If it's clean, clear sound, even if the volume's too low, I can pump it up in post-production. If I can't pump it up without making it hissy or staticky or something like that, then I didn't get clean, clear sound. And that's what we want to get first as best we can every single time. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you appreciated the difference between no microphone at all, just using a built-in microphone, using a cell phone hands-free microphone with the earbuds, using the fuzzy windsock, a short shotgun microphone kind of thing. Very inexpensive, and again, works great with the GoPro and gives me enough clear, crisp sound that I can boost it up in post-production and have it sound great. And a handheld microphone, you're gonna wanna get a microphone stand. Those are not cheap. The microphone isn't cheap either, but you can have this microphone to be either a boom pole or mounted to a tripod somehow to where you can get it out of the image where you're working, or go with a lavalier microphone. And again, I want to touch on something here. This is indeed a camcorder. I never use tapes with it. I use digital hard drives, and I sent the digital video image out to the hard drive, and I can shoot video all day long on those things. But using this thing as a microphone mixer by taking the XLR connection and putting it to the camera and then sending it out by converting with this cable that came with that microphone, okay? That cable is the conversion cable, and allows me to convert the signal from TRS from the headphone output to TRRS into the microphone input on the camera, and that is what's allowing this to go. But my mixer that I have that for some reason can't get good quality sound into the camera here, into the cell phone, I had no batteries. It had to be plugged into the wall every single time. So I had to have an extension cord coming out to my audio supply every single time. This camera it's a camcorder, so they come with batteries, right? You can have a battery compartment right here on the back of the unit, and I have a battery that I can use with it. So it is now gives me a little bit more freedom. So if I want to go ahead and use batteries, I can. And I have 3 different cameras that I can use, and they all have their own sets of batteries. The other 2 are the same. They're a Panasonic camera, but I can use them the same way as here. And this is a Canon camera, but I have the opportunity to have an extended amount of battery power all day long just for running the microphones, all right? So that's the importance there. So with that, I'm gonna wrap this one up. Don't forget to give me the thumbs up, like the video, make that comment below, let me know you came by to say hi, and if you haven't already done so, please hit that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate the growth on the network, and until I catch you in the next video, take care and be well.